Hi everybody, my name is Bob and I'm starting this YouTube channel called Senior Life because I'm retired, or semi-retired I should put it, and I want to stay in communication with people. This is going to be a rough channel, I can tell you that right away. I don't do editing and I don't do scripts, so it's pretty much spontaneous. You get what you get. I think of topics before I start, but that doesn't mean I can't get sidetracked. I would say that I encourage you, I really ask you to comment on the videos and give me ideas. If there are things you would like to have discussed, I'm more than happy to take it on, okay? So please feel free. I know that as time goes on, you'll get to know me better and you probably feel more comfortable communicating that way. So again, I encourage feedback, good, bad, positive, ugly, you name it. It doesn't matter. I'm humble enough to know that I got a lot to learn, okay? So let me tell you just briefly a little bit about myself so you get a little feel for who I am and what you might expect from this channel. I'm not going to go into great depth today. That'll come out over time, a little bit at a time. But I will tell you that I'm 78 and I live on the coast of Virginia. Born and raised here, moved away when I got out of college, moved to California, lived out there for 8 or 9 years, and then moved to New England. Lived in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine for 5-6 years, and then eventually came home. Okay. My early years were kind of exciting in the wrong way. I seemed to have developed a taste for alcohol at a very young age, and it got the best of me. And I made a lot of really very foolish mistakes that all had to do with alcohol. And luckily, by the grace of God, I was able to see that alcohol was a problem at a pretty young age. I was 32 when I realized I had to do something about my drinking. So I stopped. I started going to Alcoholics Anonymous and have continued in 12-step programs ever since. So I now have 46 years of continuous sobriety. And I am exceedingly proud of that and grateful to my higher power and all of the supports that have come through my life throughout all these decades. I worked for 30 years for the Postal Service, had a number of different jobs for them. And at one time I was even a postal inspector, investigated mail fraud in Los Angeles. Then I went into management and worked in the local post office in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and finally moved back to Virginia Beach, where I worked at the Virginia Beach Post Office until I retired. So before I retired, just 2 or 3, 4 years before I retired, I knew I wanted to do something else. I wasn't ready to quit work. And since I had been involved in 12-step programs, which involve a lot of introspection and thinking about the meaning of life and all of those types of things, I decided I would go back to college. I already had a bachelor's degree. I went back to college. I got my master's degree in clinical counseling. So as soon as I retired from the Postal Service, I went to work using my degree in a recovery program, a city-run recovery program. After that, I got my license and went into private practice, where I still work today, just 1 day a week. So I'm about 80% retired, but not completely. I still enjoy being service to others. I have a passion for helping others, for sharing my own life experience, but not telling people what to do, just telling them what I did and what happened, and sharing what I know. Okay. So if that resonates with you, then great. I think you'll get a lot out of this channel. If you're someone who's looking for just more practical advice, this may not be the place for you. I am involved in studying psychology, psychotherapy, things of that nature. Science fascinates me, so I like to talk about these things, consider topics like consciousness and mindfulness. I'm a big proponent of mindfulness. I'll probably talk at different times about subjects like anxiety. Where does it come from? How do we cope with it? Depression, same thing. Where does it come from? How do we cope with it? What do we do to reduce it? And any other forms of mental health issues that a person might have. Grief. And there's a lot of grief in the older segment of the country. And I'm more than happy to talk about that and share my experience. I've had my share of that as well. So, where do we go from here? I think I touched on a lot of the main points that I wanted to bring up. I'm sure as soon as I turn this off, I'll think of a million more. One thing I have learned, though, as a result of being a therapist, that all of the skill and technique that you develop is good. You need those things, okay? But that's not what really makes people get better. What really makes people get better is that one-on-one connection with the therapist. A client has to feel like the therapist has unconditional positive regard for them and that they're safe. It's a place where they can open up, pour their heart out with absolutely no hesitation and rely on whatever they say, staying confidential and with no judgment. So hopefully we'll get to that point here. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I guess there are different degrees of trust and confidentiality. So I want this to be a place where people can come and open up and talk about topics that maybe they're not comfortable talking about around their family. And if you have information, point of view to share, that would be great. Other people hopefully will learn from that as well. As time goes on, I plan on doing some live streams, so I hope you'll keep an eye out for that. I don't really know. I'm going to shoot for 2 of these videos a week at first, and we'll see how that goes. From what I've been able to gather, you shouldn't expect a whole lot in terms of response at first. It takes a while. The word has to get out. People have to get to know you. So I know that being consistent is important, being open, providing what feels like a safe and warm place. And I hope that's what I hope to do. So I'm going to stop this video now and go ahead and get it up on the channel, first one. So again, I really encourage you to comment. That's always welcome. And I'm going to put a link for you to subscribe to the channel if you'd care to. All right. So I would appreciate that very much. And you guys have a good day. And today is Monday, July 20th. So look for another video probably around Thursday, okay? All right, guys. Talk to you later.